Did you know that during the 2020 presidential election cycle, more than 550,000 absentee ballots were rejected at the polls because of improper signatures or witness signatures and addresses on the envelopes? That was reported at NPR News, and that shows that almost 500,000 ballots were rejected because people didn't know what they were doing. Working 5 elections this year as a chief inspector at my home township, in the polls, I was able to witness first-handedly the importance of filling out an absentee ballot and also gaining the knowledge from working with the clerk, along with taking training lessons on how to handle absentee ballots, to be able to give you a credible resource of how to help you guys fill out an absentee ballot. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the way the United States voted changed, shifting almost immediately to absentee ballots, showing the big gap in the understanding of how the process worked and the importance of following the steps that are put in place for all the checks and balances to maintain a security of the system. Today, I'm going to tell you about how to request your ballot and also how to fill out the envelope that's carried from your house to the clerk's office and then to the polling place. So let's dive on in. First, I got to ask you a question. Has anybody filled out an absentee ballot request form, envelope, or do they even know what an absentee ballot is? My guess is most of you have heard of an absentee ballot. Probably, well, some of you, though, are wondering how the process works. Well, the first way to request an absentee ballot is by going onto My Vote Wisconsin or My Vote Minnesota, searching Request Absentee Ballot, entering in your information, showing a proof of photo ID, and sending that to the clerk. Your clerk will receive it, process it, and then get a ballot into the mail for you within the next 5 business days after your request is processed, if it's within the period of the election cycle. The second way was in-person absentee voting at a clerk's office. This process can go from the start of the process, absentee request area, to the end, to the Friday before the election. Every state has time frames that are different, so I'm not going to give out times because I can't trust that they're going to be the same for your state depending where you're from. So you go to your clerk's office, you request the ballot, she'll fill out the form, he or she will get you to fill out the absentee envelope for you. You can vote and be on your way, and your ballot's casted. So now that you have a general understanding of how the process works, let's dive into talking about how to properly fill out the envelope, which is the most important part of getting your vote counted. I have a couple examples of properly and improperly filled out envelopes. The first of which you'll see is a properly filled out envelope with the witness signature down here, the address, the voter signature, and this box which is filled out by the clerk with all your general information. That's a properly filled out envelope. Here, this one, and most common mistake I've saw, is the missing of the witness's address. This envelope cover is missing signatures and addresses and all. And this one is missing the voter's address or voter signature, leading that ballot ineligible to be counted. So once a ballot gets back to the clerk, checked in, and then checked in at the polling place, those ballots then are counted only if they're filled out properly. If a ballot isn't filled out properly and rejected, it has a special process it goes through. It's recorded, it's then put in a special envelope, and then sent down to the county's clerk's office where it's further processed. And possibly, if they can figure out what went wrong, they can possibly get those votes counted. Most of the time it's not. So, today I touched on 2 big topics. The topic of requesting your ballots and also the importance of filling out the envelopes properly. If you don't sign your envelope, put your witness's signature, and have a witness's address, your ballot's not going to be counted. That's state and federal laws. During the 2020 election cycle, I witnessed this firsthand, seeing ballots come back improperly filled out and then being rejected. So, next time you go and vote, and you can't vote in person but want to vote absentee, make sure you request your ballot in the period of time. Go to your clerk's office or go to myvote.com, Wisconsin or Minnesota. You'll get your ballot. Make sure you sign your name properly with everything, and your ballot will be counted.